Cleveland with Boundary Stone. We're providing you with resources so that you can understand and engage your world. Today, I would like to follow up. Last time when I was with you, I was talking a little bit about that the economy as a whole is a dynamic process of change. And really, when we leave it alone, when the government stays out of it and leaves it alone, then we have opportunities to think about new ways to do things, ways that are better, cheaper, higher quality, all these sorts of things that improve our lives. And really, governments do a very bad job of trying to direct this process. And in fact, sometimes our efforts at intervention are so counterproductive that they're absolutely destructive. Let's just talk about a few examples. You know, beginning back in the 1960s, there was a movement in environmentalist circles that, well, we have to conserve resources. There's only so much stuff in the world. And if we use it up, we'll be out. We won't have any more. Well, let's unpack that for a minute. It is certainly the case that the world, the earth, is only so big. That's true. And there's only so much stuff here. That's true. But it's not true that that by our actions that we can destroy matter. That's not true. And so just because there's only so much stuff doesn't mean there's only a limited number of ways to use the stuff. And last time I was talking a little bit about this whole progress and providing lights in our houses at night. And I moved from whale oil to kerosene to electricity and the light bulb. You know, think about this for a moment. There's some concern among people today about that we're going to run out of crude oil, or that crude oil products, we've got to end our use of that sort of product for energy. Well, the question is, why? I mean, crude oil, you know, we found some pretty good uses for the petroleum, and we make lots of products from petroleum, you know, gasoline for our automobiles being one. So why wouldn't we continue to use that? Because it's a fairly effective energy source and provides us with all sorts of opportunities we wouldn't have otherwise. You know, I mean, what else are we going to do with crude oil if we don't pump it out of the ground and refine it into such things as gasoline? I mean, we're going to bathe cats in it. I mean, that, you know, it's really rather silly. See, the direction of change in an economy is always going to be driven by prices. You know, prices tell us when we need to conserve. Market prices tell us what's valuable, what's most valuable, what's less valuable among the stuff that's out there. And so market prices are very good at helping to direct the course of change in the economy. They tell you how to conserve. And so, you know, right now we have all this big efforts ongoing to recycle this, recycle that. Well, that's fine. I'm not against recycling per se. However, it makes no sense to me whatsoever why we would consume resources worth $10 to conserve those worth $5. In other words, forced recycling makes no sense whatsoever. Market recycling, on the other hand, makes a lot of sense because it's a profitable activity. You know, I live in Birmingham, and one of the areas where there's recycling going on is you see trucks rolling around town with all kinds of scrap metal on them. Well, where are they going? Well, we have a mini mill, what's called you know, new steel mill production facilities in town, and they take in the scrap metal. They boil it all down, and they add some ingredients to it, and they make a new product out of it. They make rebar. It's a perfect recycling activity. Nobody's twisting anybody's arms. The people who are going out and collecting the scrap iron to take to sell to the plant are doing it to make a living. And so everyone is happy in that case. Nobody had to twist anybody's arm to make it happen. It just happened. But it doesn't make sense to spend a lot of time and effort, though, trying to recycle that's not going to produce something that's profitable in the end. That's a waste of resources. That's anti-conservative. That's anti-economic. And so think about that. We're told we're running out of garbage space and that sort of thing. Well, we could explore that question maybe at a different time. But I would say, no, it's not really true. We ought to be careful a little bit as we begin to advocate for government action into areas where maybe we don't need any government action. Well, Dr. Paul Cleveland, Boundary Stone, just something to think about and stew on a little bit. And we're trying to provide you with resources to better understand your world and to engage with it. Talk to you next time.